Oh, hey there. Hold on. This doesn't sound right. I yelled. We're starting that over. I yelled at one and I could even hear it through yours.
We're keeping that in. Oh, that was great. We both inhaled at the same time to say, oh, hey there.
Oh, hey there.
Oh, hey.
All right. I gotta. Yeah, about that.
I'm Kate.
And I am Bradley. and we are the history buffoons.
We sure the fuck are.
We're definitely buffooning today.
Oh, okay. Don't sip yet. Don't sip yet. I know.
Can I not grab it?
Yes, you can grab it, but don't sip it.
Calm down.
Because it's completely open to us. Okay, so tell the folks.
Tell the peeps.
Tell the folks what we got going on here. Because we are carrying glasses at the moment.
Yeah, so we have, I have a pint glass. You have a snow scene glass. So Kate, was that 2 weeks ago, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We're
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we're looking for some other things for our beer sampling, and we like to try and mix it up and keep it kind of local if we can, because why not? Mm-hmm. She found one, so we went there today to pick up some beer to bring home. And it's called Cool City Brewing Company, not to be confused with Coal City, which doesn't exist.
Which is what I thought it was called. Yeah. We were like, search for Coal City. There's no Coal City. Oh, it's because it's called Cool City.
That was pretty funny. But so we went there today. So it's a little brew pub in Two Rivers, Wisconsin.
It's almost like a suburb of Manitowoc. Yeah.
And across the street is Lake Michigan. It's really pretty.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
For the most, maybe a little more than cross the street, but
yeah.
No, that place was really cool. I really liked the place.
Are you saying that Cool City Brewery is cool?
It's cool?
Cool. It's cool.
Anyways.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I am saying Cool City Brewing Company is cool.
It was pretty cool.
We got to talk to, we were there actually pretty early in the day, so there wasn't a lot of people, which was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Because we got to talk to Ryan, the brewer.
Yes.
For the place. So that was nice to kind of chat with him for a little bit. And that pretzel was delicious.
Oh my God. Yeah, we bought the pretzel with a beer cheese and a Dijon mustard type of dip.
Isn't it like stone ground? I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm making shit up in my head, but
probably. That
was fucking delicious.
It was. It was probably the best beer or bar pretzel I've ever had.
Yeah. And no, it was a really cool place. We got to talk to, like I said, the brewer, and his wife was there working on stuff,
and their kids.
Their kids were running around. Had two little ones there, so it was pretty cool. So he gave us a sample of this.
Yes,
and we're like, we need to do this on the podcast. So.
Okay, so he wrote it down on the crawler. Is that what it's called?
Crowler, yeah.
Crowler.
So it's like a growler, but a can.
Yeah.
But it's the Beach Bear Berry Habanero Sour.
Berry Habanero.
Yeah.
I am not a habanero, jalapeno, green pepper, red pepper, yellow pepper, chili pepper. I'm not any of the peppers fans. It's just not something that I was ever really into. I don't like spice, really.
You're also not much of a sour person either.
I'm
don't
not.
Mind them.
And this is a little sour. It's a little spicy. And goddamn, I asked to buy this.
Yes, this was your choice.
It was.
Which I am perfectly good with. So cheers.
So cheers to you. It is
different.
It is delicious, and it is unique, and there's a little spice right at the end, but the front end is berry. It's fantastic.
I took a sip literally multiple seconds ago, and I'm getting that heat on the back end still.
Yeah, on the back end.
It's great. I really like it.
I really like it as well.
So I don't think I've ever had anything. I've had sours before. I like sours, but I don't go out of my way for them. I've never had one like this, and this is really delicious. So
super unique.
I had to even buy a pint glass because it was cool.
Yeah. So what else do you remember what else we got in? So you got a 4-pack of something.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. That was an IPA.
An IPA.
I got that.
And I got another crowler. Oh, the Hellsner?
Hellas lager.
Hellas.
Yeah.
Hellas lager.
Which you've tried a Hellas lager on our podcast before.
Okay.
I think you'll like this one better.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, we got a flight today to kind of narrow down what we wanted to try today.
Yeah.
And this Berry Habanero wasn't even part of our flight. He just gave us a little sample,
which was great. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so we had the sample, so we bought that, and then part of our sample flight.
Yeah.
I bought the Hellas.
Yep.
And then you chose something completely different. And you got an IPA.
I got a pale ale and an IPA, and then you also got the Pilsner as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, it was a great vibe inside.
It was. I liked
the brewer was really fun and entertaining and really knowledgeable
and engaging. So that was nice.
Yeah, and his wife was super engaging, and their kids were funny.
Yep.
And their beers are amazing. I want to go back.
I want to go back there too. I definitely want to. Try some more of their food too, because they have like taco flights and stuff.
And they have the football flight.
Oh my God. So
football flight of 20 samples.
They have 20 taps in this place.
Yes.
And so usually most people, Al, you know what I'm talking about. When you get a flight, they usually have it's a little board that they set each one and they write the number down.
Yeah.
They literally have a board it was made out of, it looks like old pipes, and they painted them, but they look like field goals
on either side of the board.
On either side. And then it literally has a spot for every single tap they have, which is 20.
Yes.
And he said if you do the 20 flight, you get the pretzel for free.
Which we didn't do because it was early.
It was too early for a 20 thing flight, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's pretty neat.
I've not seen that before.
I've never seen that. A flight of 20?
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's awesome.
I've seen 4, obviously, like we did today. I've seen 5, I've seen 6. I've seen a few.
Yeah. But never 20.
No.
So that was unique.
And actually, thinking back to the whole reason why I know I like IPAs and pale ales is my go-to style. Is my dad and I did a flight in Frisco, Colorado, at this old brewery. I don't think it's there anymore. I think it's gone, but it's called Backcountry Brewery. At least it was, if it's still there. And we did a flight there of that, and I had sampled every one of his beers, and I'm like, ooh, I like that one. So,
have you ever thought of owning your own brewery, just in an off shoot fantasy?
Oh, yeah.
You have.
Oh,
have
100%.
You thought of what you would name your brewery?
Oh no, I guess I never actually thought.
You
of
never
the
got
name.
that far.
No, I had aspirations of owning a place like that, where we were today, or multiple other places. We can name a bunch, but a nice restaurant with a brewery attached to it. I've wanted to own that.
Oh, and this place serves coffee. They're open at 6 a.m. and serve coffee as well.
Yeah, they have a drive-through.
Yeah,
which is wild.
I know.
It
was a really
great.
cool place.
Yeah, it's quite different. It'd be nice to go there when it's nicer weather out, because they have garage doors they open that looks like to a patio and stuff. So we'll have to definitely go back and then go back again and check it out. And again. No,
Okay.
I could definitely see us visiting this place multiple times, because it was really cool.
So I have a question for you.
Ooh, what's your question?
We're kind of switching it from the artistic beer making,
okay,
to actual works of art.
Oh,
yeah. So, do you have any type of style, specific works or artists that you actually really, really enjoy looking at?
My favorite piece of art is Starry Night by Van Gogh, right?
Yeah, that was Van Gogh.
That is very when I look at that, it makes me happy, kind of.
Oh, really?
Art. Yeah, I love that piece of art, and I've had. I use it as a background on my computer in the past. I mean, I really like how it looks. So
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's my favorite piece of art that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you kind of think of?
Oh boy. I mean, you always think of art and you go to, shit like Mona Lisa and all that stuff, but
yeah,
I don't mind it, but I'd rather look at Starry Night kind of thing. So,
you want to know what mine is?
Well, yeah, of course I do.
I really like the painting called The Kiss by Gustav Klimt.
Okay.
I'll show you. I'll kind of show you the picture here, if it comes up. I'm sure you've seen this.
I don't know if
Gustav Klimt, the Kiss.
I don't know if I ever have.
It's all very yellow, very like patchwork.
Sure.
But I really enjoy the Kiss.
Where is he from?
Vienna.
Oh, nice.
Perhaps.
Okay. Perhaps. It's potentially where he's from. Okay.
We're not actually going to talk about Starry Night or The Kiss by Klimt.
I kind of figured that.
We are actually, surprisingly enough, going to talk about the Mona Lisa.
Oh, well, look at that.
Yeah.
Good thing I brought it up.
Yeah. So this, the Mona Lisa by
Da Vinci.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yep.
It's a piece of artwork that is like considered the most known, the most visited, the most written about, the most duplicated painting in the world.
Yeah. I mean, there's literally a movie called Mona Lisa Smile.
It's with Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Is it? I've never seen it.
It is. I like it. And there's some really great like 1950s-ish music in it, which I also really like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So we're not going to talk about like quite just the painting. We're actually going to talk about a period in time.
Okay.
When the Mona Lisa actually shot to fame.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to give a kind of a brief background on the painting, and then we're going to jump to the year 1911.
Ooh.
Okay.
Did you know that we keep bringing up 1911?
No.
So
yeah, tell me.
1911, if I'm not mistaken, that's the year Baba Vanga was born.
Wow, I don't remember any of that.
And it's also because during that episode, I said, "Oh, it's the same year Reagan was born." And
was it?
Yeah. Huh. So it's funny how 1911 apparently has popped up a couple times in our podcast.
In our short podcast life.
Yeah. Just like Illinois.
Shocking.
This doesn't take place in Illinois, does it?
It does not.
Thank goodness.
It takes place in France and in Italy.
I know.
Okay, so the whole purpose of this podcast was for me to remember shit, and I don't remember that.
And speaking of that,
I'm going to set my mouth on fire with another drink while you speak.
We got to shout out our friend Tara.
Yes. Okay. Hold, please. Because I got to go look up the story now.
That's okay.
That was in Haymarket. That back end.
Yes. I like the little burn it's got. It's really, really subtle.
It's subtle, but
nice.
I can feel it.
I know. And it almost like builds as you're like just kind of talking and sitting here. Mm-hmm. I really enjoy it. But yeah, we wanted to make sure we did this before we forget.
Okay. So our friend Tara, so she listened to our episode on the Haymarket Affair.
Yep.
It was called Antichrist. And
I'd like to reiterate, it's because of the slip of the tongue on your part.
Yes,
saying
I was supposed
anarchist.
to. I was supposed to say anarchist, and I said Antichrist. Anyway, so she texted me in the middle of her listening to the episode, and she said, "So you talked about Governor Oglesby?
Yeah,
that is my great grandfather." Which
is just wild. It's like, holy shit, that is so funny.
So Governor Oglesby.
Oglesby, either way.
I'm sorry.
However it's pronounced, we apologize.
So he was the one that decided whether the men who were arrested for the quote unquote riot and the bombing of the labor union rallies.
Right.
He was the one that decided whether they would live or die, essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's who he was. He was the one that remembered what it was like to be an abolitionist.
Yep.
But then realized that the laws were really strict and other abolitionists could have been hanged too. So in the end, he ended up pardoning a couple of the men who were arrested
that were still alive in prison.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
Yes. So that was him, and so that was pretty awesome.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool that we have a kind of a personal tie to even a story that we did that we had no idea, obviously, and it's just like, oh hey, that was how many greats? Grandfather? Is that what she said?
I think so.
Either way.
Yeah.
So sorry, Tara, if we got that wrong. But
yeah.
That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just like the little bit personal touch.
Yes. And thank
that
you,
we
Tara,
had.
for telling us, because that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and because obviously we had no idea. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That it just happened to be in an episode of something that we talked about. So
Yes.
anyways, all right, back to...
The Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Mona Lisa was painted by Leonardo da Vinci.
Yes.
And it was around the years 1503 to 1506. It actually
Right.
took him a really long time to quote unquote finish this painting. Okay.
And wasn't this more like a self-portrait that he then altered?
No.
Oh,
No. So this painting was actually of a sitter named Lisa del Giocondo.
okay.
So she was an actual person.
Oh.
Lisa del Giocondo. She was born Lisa.
Oh, Lisa. Yeah, I know her.
She was born Lisa Gherardini on June 15th, 1479.
That's so wild.
She was an Italian noblewoman from Florence in Tuscany.
She was born 500 years before me.
Yes.
That's fucking wild.
And her life was actually relatively ordinary.
Okay.
Okay. She married a cloth and silk merchant in her teens. She had six children, and
Oh,
she lived a
damn.
relatively comfortable life.
Okay.
And despite her unremarkable life, her legacy was obviously secured with this commissioned painting. It was commissioned by her husband.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't realize that was ever
Directly to Leonardo da Vinci.
I didn't realize that was ever a commission piece.
Yes, yes.
That's wild.
So back then, Leonardo da Vinci's lack of income around the spring of 1503 may have like contributed to his interest in painting this private portrait.
Okay.
So the work, however, while he was in the middle of painting it, he was interrupted and actually commissioned to paint the Battle of Anghiari.
Anghiari.
And it was contractually obligated for him to complete it by February 1505.
Oh, wow.
So this is the painting of the Battle of Anghiari.
I've seen that before.
Can you describe it briefly?
I mean, it's hard from how far away I am, but it looks like a lot of horses and then people riding them.
And colors, like there's a lot of reds.
Very
and
vibrant, nice mix of colors. I think I've seen that painting before.
Yeah, yeah.
At least it looks familiar, maybe not, but...
So lots of reds, horses, and they're all kind of like intermixed and fighting each other.
Yeah.
So that was the Battle of Anghiari.
And he was contractually obligated to finish that by 1505.
1505, yes.
Okay.
So by 1506... Leonardo still considered the Mona Lisa painting to be unfinished. So
Right.
like many, many years.
Okay.
So he actually never received payment for
Oh.
the portrait, and he never delivered it to the husband
person.
who commissioned it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was just me saying, hey, I want this done. Can you do this for me? You say yes. And then it just never exchanged hands in any way.
Okay.
So he kept the painting with him throughout his life, and he potentially finished it later in France around 1516.
Oh, wow. So
And that's just according to some estimates. Like, it's
Sure.
not quite,
it's not known
Factual.
for sure.
Yeah.
But that's a guesstimate of when he probably did that.
yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
So the title of the painting translates to My Lady Lisa.
My Lady Lisa.
Mona is technically spelled with two N's, Monna.
Really?
And that is like part of like the Italian writing of Mona.
Oh.
But there's another Italian name for the painting.
Okay.
It's called La Gioconda, which means jocund or jocund, which means happy or jovial.
Oh.
Or literally the like jovial one.
Okay.
Okay. In French, the title is La Gioconda or La Gioconda,
Okay.
which has the same meaning. Okay.
Sure.
So when people are talking about the Mona Lisa in English, it's Mona Lisa. In French, it's La Gioconda. In Italian, it's La Gioconda.
So you said it has
Pardon
two.
me with my like verbiage and yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So I've only ever seen it with one N. Right?
Yes, because that's the English version. That's the English way.
Oh, so okay. So the French and Was it?
So there was an Italian Mona Lisa,
Right.
Monna, but they traditionally kind of call it the La Gioconda.
So that's the name they refer to it as.
Yes.
Okay.
And we call it, the English call it the Mona Lisa.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Okay. So the painting was kept at the Palace of Fontainebleau.
Fontainebleau?
Fontainebleau.
Bleh.
Until Louis XIV moved it to the Palace of Versailles.
Okay.
Where it remained until the French Revolution. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And then in 1797, it went on permanent display at the Louvre.
The Louvre?
The English say Louvre, the Italians say the Louvre.
What are you?
I'm English.
Okay, say it the English way.
But I'm fancy.
Louvre.
But I'm fancy.
Well, are you though? I mean, who are we kidding? I thought this was about history, not lies.
Fuck off. Drink more.
Okay. Twist my habanero.
Okay, so now we're going to jump to 1911, right?
Yes.
The Louvre
Fancy.
was not popular.
No. I always liked the line in the Da Vinci Code movie. I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name. Really good actor. I like him. He's French.
The French guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was.
He's great. I'm sad that I don't know his name either, but he's
so
great.
sad that I can't remember his name right now.
He's from Godzilla. He's from the movie Godzilla with Matthew Broderick.
Yes. I saw that in the theater.
Matthew Broderick reminds me of my dad for some reason. I'm not
Really?
sure why. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Anyways, so I'm going to get the line. It's not, I won't say it word for word. I'm just drawing a blank on how it's actually said, but he's like, because they have the big pyramid at the Louvre.
Yes.
And he's like, a stain on the face of Paris or whatever he says.
Yeah, like a plague on the face of Paris.
It's like, oh man, how much do you hate this place? But,
it was just, I think it was just the pyramid. They didn't like the modern look of the pyramid.
which I can understand.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways.
That was fiction. Okay. So,
Wait, that's not
1911,
real?
the Louvre was not popular.
Okay.
And there was no fee to get in either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And security was fairly lacking.
Oh, so are we talking about when it got stolen?
We are talking about when the Mona Lisa got
Sweet.
stolen.
Because I knew that happened. I was going to mention it before. I just didn't get around to it.
Yes. So the guards were generally like pensioners or retired soldiers who had a reputation for falling asleep while on the job.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Mona Lisa was displayed with other paintings of the Italian Renaissance period.
Sure.
And actually, in the building, many other paintings were worth twice as much as the Mona Lisa at this time.
Right.
Yeah. So it was also really common in that area for art academies to go to the Louvre, as students were expected to regularly visit paintings and then actually copy their works to learn from those works.
Yeah, makes sense.
So they would like bring in their easels and their paints and their paintbrushes and set up shop in front of these like masterpieces.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Could you imagine like
That would
back
be
in that
so
time
cool.
frame, like 1900s, early 1900s, and like, well, I'm going to go copy whatever painting you
I'm
want to
going to
say.
go copy dogs playing cards.
I'm pretty sure that was out in 1911, actually. Yeah.
I guess it would be dogs playing poker, but yeah.
Yes. But just setting up your easel, like, all right. It's just that I couldn't even, I wish I was more artistic that way.
Same.
You're pretty creative, though. You do come up with some cool stuff. I am not that way at all.
You're creative in how you edit our podcast.
Well, thanks. That means a lot. Jesus Christ. All right. Continue.
Okay. So there was also the development of photography.
Yes.
So artists had this new tool of studying and documenting these artworks through photography. So while painting from the original was still considered valuable, photography allowed artists to capture details and compositions more easily.
Sure.
And potentially reducing the need to spend long hours in these galleries with an easel, right?
Nice, yeah.
Okay, so August 21st, 1911 was a Monday.
It was, okay.
Yes, it was a Monday, and that is important because the Louvre was closed this day.
Oh.
Yes. Habanero.
Habanero. Oh, dear. That's staying in.
Wow, it's habanero.
I don't know if you noticed this, but a lot of times when you burp on the podcast, I specifically leave those in because they're funny to me.
Oh, yeah, I've noticed.
Okay, good.
I don't think Al needs to hear my burps.
Well, I mean, nobody needs to hear your burps.
I'm sure my mom misses them. Okay.
There you go, Mom.
So this Monday, the Louvre was closed. There was only a skeleton crew working.
Do you have a reason why they were closed? Are they just closed on Mondays, or was there a specific reason why they were closed?
I think they were just closed on Mondays.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was curious because, like, why were they closed?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the museum's maintenance director would make a daily round throughout the galleries. So his early morning rounds was approximately 7:15, 7:30, somewhere around there.
Okay.
7:30, he's like walking through these galleries. Everything seems in tip-top form. Everything is exactly how it should be.
Yep.
He walked through the galleries and saw Mona Lisa hanging on the wall.
Okay.
It is there.
So this is at 7:30.
In the morning.
Okay.
It's there on the wall. 8:30, he comes back. Mona Lisa is gone.
An hour later and it was gone?
It was gone.
Holy shit.
All that was left on these walls. And this Mona Lisa is surrounded by other paintings at this time.
Right.
So it's just like a blank spot on a wall full of paintings.
So very noticeable. And this is obviously well before security cameras and shit like that.
Exactly. So. All that was left on the wall were 4 iron hooks. Okay?
Wow.
And iron hooks comes into play a little bit later.
Oh, it does. Okay.
So immediately, the maintenance director was like,
that's weird.
No, it's not weird. Actually, it's either being photographed
or cleaned
or
something, sure,
or repaired.
Oh,
he thought nothing of it.
So he just shrugged his shoulders and kept on walking.
Exactly.
What a fucking idiot!
It was just another day in the Louvre.
I mean, I guess I can see why his mind would go there.
Yes, that's clearly what was standard.
Yeah. So why would he question it? But I don't know. It seems like you should have a little more track and like, hey, this is getting clean this day, blah, blah, blah. But,
exactly.
Or whatever the case might be.
Whatever the case, yeah.
Because why would it be photographed closed that day?
But that would be the time when it would be, wouldn't you think?
I mean, I could see
the Louvre is closed. This is the time to take the photographs, or this is the time to take the paintings off the wall and photograph it, or repair it, or clean it before the public comes back in.
I can understand the repairing and the cleaning on the day off, but I guess it depends on who's photographing it.
They would probably need a dark room at this time. Yeah.
But wow, that's an hour later and it was gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was missing for 24 hours.
One day.
Yes.
And okay.
Until it was reported missing.
Oh, so it was gone for 24 hours
and
they're like,
then
hey,
someone noticed.
We can't find this fucking painting.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
So, a local artist of the time.
Yeah.
I didn't write his name down because it's really not necessary, but he was fairly popular in recreating famous paintings and selling them.
Sure.
As recreations. Okay. So he came into the gallery on that Tuesday to paint the Mona Lisa.
You're like, hey.
Yeah. He's like, where the heck is it? I want to paint this and sell it to my tourists.
Right, yeah.
And so he's like, okay, like he had his easel and he has paints and he's like, I just came to a blank wall. Like, where the heck is this Mona Lisa?
Right.
So he goes to a snoozing security guard.
Oh my God.
And hey.
Hey, I'm sorry to wake you on your job.
Where's the painting? Is it like, where is it?
When's it coming back?
And the guard went to the photographer's studio in the museum and they're all like, IDK, I don't know. We don't have it. And they're all like,
George, have you seen it? No, Bill. I have no idea where it is. What the hell? Wow.
So they set up the alarms. About time.
Did they just start going, wee, wee, wee? Anyways.
Okay, so then we have Deputy Director Georges Benedict.
One more time.
I was trying to be Italian. Did it work?
No.
Georges Benedict.
Did he work at the Louvre?
So George Benedict was notified of the missing painting. With him and the skeleton crew, they went through floor by floor, room by room, searching for this painting.
How many floors are in the Louvre? Do you know?
I actually don't.
Okay.
The Louvre has been added on throughout the years so many times.
It's been expanded a lot, yeah.
A lot.
Okay.
Like, it is impressive how much the Louvre has expanded. It used to be a palace. It was an office. It was...
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It was a whole bunch of things, yeah.
I don't remember. I know Sarah went to Europe. Was it her senior year? Shit, I don't remember now. I might be getting this details wrong, but I know she went to a few different places. I think she went there. Mm-hmm. I believe. I'll have to ask her again. Now I'm drawing a blank and might be getting this wrong, but I'm almost positive she went to the Louvre. So every time I think of the Louvre, I just think of Eurotrip.
Error. If you know, you know.
Robot fight.
Okay, so this painting is perhaps hidden somewhere, and it was just never put back after cleaning for some weird reason.
Yeah, because who would hide it?
Right. So several hours later, the deputy director actually found the frame that the painting was in and the glass protective casing that it was in.
Right.
It was found in the servant's staircase.
Interesting. Yeah. The plot thickens.
And that's when it was confirmed.
It was gone.
The Mona Lisa
was stolen.
That's
wild. It wasn't okay, and I'm sure you're going to get to this. I know, but I'm just going to ask a question out loud right now.
Oh, you have a lot of faith in me.
If you don't have this fucking detail, then what are we doing? How long was it gone for? Total.
Oh, I will tell you.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
I do have that information.
Okay, good. That was part of your research.
Score for Kate. Okay.
About time.
So at this time, Mona Lisa, her fame skyrockets
because it was missing,
and her the insurance on her, the pricelessness of her, the cultural impact, the historical impact that we know of her. Of this painting was because of this moment in history.
That's wild because, obviously we've come long after this. So, to us, it's always been popular. Super famous. It's if not the most, one of the most popular paintings in the world.
Yes, and it is because of this heist.
That's crazy. Okay, I guess I never really realized that. I knew it was stolen.
Yes.
I've known this, again, not the details, but I knew of this story. But the fact that this actually skyrocket its popularity is just wild.
Yes.
So, all right, continue. Yeah.
So,
that's gross.
The theft is what made this. I'm so sorry. I need you to burp at least one of these times on this podcast. Okay.
How often do I burp?
I don't know.
It's a burp epidemic.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Beer, seriously makes me burp.
Oh, I think different styles this type, a sour, is certainly affecting you a lot more.
I don't know. Talk to me when I'm having Modelo because I don't agree.
Go grab one.
Okay. The museum called one person.
The chief inspector?
Louis Lapine.
Who's that?
He is the prefect of police in France. He is the Sherlock Holmes at this time.
Okay.
He has an ironclad reputation.
Oh, gotcha.
Reputation.
Okay.
He is very famous. He is very good. He is very he's Sherlock Holmes. Okay.
Sure. He's that Sherlock Holmes.
He came to the Louvre with a team of 60 policemen.
Holy balls, really?
This is considered an insult to the French.
Why?
Because this is the Mona Lisa is theirs at this point.
Oh, sure.
It belongs in the Louvre. It is now a disgrace.
Yeah, because where the fuck is it?
Yes, it is a disgrace. So Lapine also wasn't the only one that knew what happened. The theft was already making headlines in all the newspapers, including in the Americas.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so telegrams, radios.
It spread quickly.
Quickly for the time.
Sure.
Yes. It traveled around the world in a matter of hours, which is now in a matter of seconds, right? Like
Right.
now
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
seconds. Back then it was a matter of hours.
Right.
So one of the funniest things was the Washington Post printed a picture of the stolen painting, but it wasn't the right painting.
No?
They printed something else entirely, thinking that was the Mona Lisa. That is how unknown
The painting was.
this painting was.
That's wild to think about.
Yes.
Because, like, again, you mentioned to anybody, like my son might not know because he's 6, but like
Right.
anybody of a certain age, they know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
So the fact that it was so
Unknown.
to
The
put
Washington Post printed a completely different kind of painting.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
So one of the biggest things that Lapine had to figure out was when exactly the painting was stolen. So they kind of narrowed it down, right?
Well, I mean, they probably focus on that hour that
Exactly.
the guy went by.
He actually interviewed the entire staff and
Sure.
just to see who was the last one to witness it on the walls, which he understood was the maintenance director.
Right.
And he said that he saw the paintings during his rounds at around 7:30.
Yep.
And then at 8:35, a little bit more specific, 8:35, he noticed the picture was gone.
Right.
So Lapine now knows that time frame.
Yep. That hour time frame is when it went missing.
Yes. Now another person shows up to be interviewed, a plumber.
Yep. Ooh.
So he sees a man in a stairwell. It wasn't said what stairwell, just in a stairwell next to a locked door. He was like sitting on the steps
Interesting.
next to a locked door.
Sure.
And this was coincidentally the same stairwell where the frame and the glass casing was found.
I kind of figured that
Yeah.
might be the case.
So the plumber notices the doorknob of this door was missing,
Oh,
but it was still locked. So the doorknob and the lock are two separate entities, right?
yeah, correct. Like a
So-
deadbolt and a handle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the plumber asked the man sitting in the stairs, like, do you know what's going on here? Like, why are we missing a doorknob? And the man was like, I have no idea. I just got here myself. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
So the plumber who had keys to this building took out his keys. He unlocked the door, walked through this exit, and then relocked it after him.
Interesting.
Okay. So man is still in the staircase at this point.
Okay.
Okay. He did not follow the guy through.
Right.
Okay. So with this information, Lapine now has to find like who this man is.
Right. Of
And
course.
that's the clue. Ha-ha.
A lead.
A lead. It's really still not a lot to go on. Witness
not at
testimony
all.
is not reliable at all,
Never is.
especially if you talk to me.
Well,
So-
you forget everything. So
But even after 24 hours, the plumber really couldn't give any kind of indication of what this man looked like.
Yeah,
he was
lost-
just another staff member.
yeah, because at that point I saw a person. That's literally all it is. I can't tell you his eye color, his hair color, whatever.
No,
color.
I
So
wasn't paying that close attention because why
Right.
would I need to?
He didn't need to at the time.
So Lapine, he's a man of science. He's forward thinking. He's a pioneer.
Jesus.
He's a pioneer. He is one of the first policemen in the world to use fingerprinting as a means of identification.
Okay.
Isn't
nice.
that cool?
Yeah, because that's really when it started getting kind of popular.
Yes.
And realized that it could be a actual thing of
Yes.
importance.
So Lapine is like, okay, this is new. This thief is going to be an idiot. He's foolish. He doesn't know what it takes to not leave fingerprints behind. He doesn't know he needs to wear gloves. He's got to leave behind fingerprints.
Well, because most people didn't realize that because it was
Yes.
such a new
It was so new.
technology.
Yeah. So dun dun dun. He left a fingerprint. He left a fingerprint behind
Wow.
on the glass casing.
Okay.
Okay, but they don't know which finger.
Oh,
Yeah,
so it could have been a
the
middle
science wasn't that
exact?
sophisticated. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was in production.
So they had all of these like criminal identity cards with all fingerprints, and I think there was like 750,000 cards.
God.
And they tried to go through each and every one to figure out if this single fingerprint matched any of the 10 fingerprints per card.
And that's the thing, because back then, like today, they feed it through a computer and it can pick the points.
I know, it's crazy.
They literally had to, like, what, a little magnifying
Yes.
glass cup thing that they used to put on to look at it.
Yes.
They would have to match it by eye. And, like, that takes fucking time.
And that's not even accurate.
No, because that's literally just, yep, that looks right.
Yep.
So
wow. Lapine, the greatest, noticed that the painting had been taken out of the frame very delicately.
Sure.
And he's like, it must have been someone who knew how to do that properly.
Right.
Without causing any damage.
Well, because there was care taken in it.
Yes, there was.
It wasn't, I'm going to steal that and just rip it out.
Exactly.
They wanted it in good condition.
So he feels like the pool of villains has gone down drastically because he's like, it's got to be someone who knows what they're doing.
I love how you call it the pool of villains.
The pool of villains.
I think that's the name of the episode. Unless you come up with something better, that's the name of the episode. So anyways.
So Lapine, he was kind of like a hoity-toity upperclassman kind of a guy, kind of snobbish. He thought the person who did this was extremely smart, extremely coercive, and very like upper middle class.
And I'm guessing he was wrong?
I will get to that. But that's what Lapine was like. He was trying to be all Criminal Minds about it.
Sure. Hey, you like that show?
I do. And be all like, this is the profile of who we're talking about.
Okay, sure. So
this detective, man of science, he actually tested how long it would take for two policemen to take a mock-up Mona Lisa
and like
on the wall,
get it down,
and take it
apart.
off of and take it off. Just even take it off the wall.
Sure.
With these iron brackets. It took them 5 minutes. Two policemen to get the Mona Lisa, fake Mona Lisa, off the wall.
And that's two people.
Yes. So then he had a museum worker who was familiar with, the
layout and all that.
Yeah. He had him, hey, come up here. Take down this painting for me. I want to see how long it takes you. 5 seconds.
Oh. So with that knowledge, it's an inside job.
Huzzah!
Right?
Huzzah!
That's an aggressive huzzah.
We've narrowed down the pool of villains. It had to have been an employee or a former employee.
I mean, that makes sense.
Ideally, right?
That would make sense why that would be your direction to go, because you and I go in there, hey, take this painting down. Like, I don't know.
Without ruining anything.
Oh, fuck. Pick a painting you don't care about because this shit's getting fucked up.
Yeah.
Or obviously you work there, you've especially at that time frame. I'm sure things are different nowadays, but you know how to take it down. It's like, yeah. That would clearly,
this is exactly how you take it down.
That would clearly eliminate a lot of people. So it's either, like you said, a current employee or a former employee that worked at the Louvre. So that narrows it down to 256 of current employees. Oh, there was that many.
And they were all going to get fingerprinted.
Sure, makes sense.
one by one, a painstaking process.
Yep.
But no one matched the fingerprint on the glass. Okay. So they widened the search. Okay.
Sure.
So people who used to be employed at or for the Louvre. Okay. So enter subcontractors, the Gogh firm.
Gogh firm?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They made, wait for it, the protective glass casings for the paintings.
Oh.
That was their job.
Okay.
So they were commissioned to make these glass paintings.
Sure.
So at one point, there was a piece of art that got vandalized. And so that's when they hired the Gogh firm to
start putting this glass panels on the paintings.
Yes.
Okay.
So the firm gave Lapine a list of about 5 people who worked in the same gallery hall as where the Mona Lisa was hung.
All right.
All 5 were called into questioning, and 1 no called, no showed.
I wonder why.
No call, no show.
He's like,
how suspicious.
I gotta go hide that.
Yeah. So the man who didn't show up was 29-year-old Vincenzo Perugia.
Okay. Vincenzo.
Yes. He was born in a very small village in the Alps of Italy near the border of Switzerland in 1881.
I was going to say, that's a very Italian name. So,
So he was a migrant from Italy, and he was incredibly low class.
Okay.
He was very, very poor. And he had a criminal record.
Oh, dear.
Yes.
Things are not stacking up good for Vincenzo.
Oh, but wait. So Lapine noticed that he had been arrested once for threatening a sex worker with a knife.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And once for theft.
Oh.
So Lapine, who was also, like I said before, he was an upper middle class snob. He saw Perugia's background and was like,
Let's go.
No, he was like, nah, this ain't it.
Oh, because he wasn't sophisticated enough.
Exactly.
Yes, that's right. Because you had said that. Okay.
Yes, he was like, nah, this ain't it.
So he discounted. See, that's wild.
That's wild.
I'm sorry, you have to still fucking count this guy, but he's like, no, he couldn't have been that smart to do this.
Exactly.
Wow.
He was not sophisticated enough to pull this off. He wasn't traveled. He wasn't worldly. He wasn't educated. He wasn't wealthy. And he wasn't a connoisseur of Renaissance work.
Wow, that's wild to
That's
think
what
about.
their prejudice was. Yeah. But they did track him down anyway.
Well, that's good.
He'd kind of be a fool not to.
Right.
So a week after the theft,
Okay.
Lapine sent a junior detective to Perugia's apartment. So this guy, he travels up several flights of stairs, enters his apartment, and Perugia, he is this small-framed Italian man with a big, like, bushy mustache.
A mustache?
A mustache.
Nice.
Like a big bushy mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah. His apartment was a 9x13 room.
Oh, my word.
That was it.
So it had like a toilet in the corner, a bed, and then maybe a couch?
Probably not even a toilet, but yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, a studio.
Bucket?
It was a studio.
Do you have a bucket?
You know what? That's not part of my research, so we're going to move on. So he's got a bed. He's got a small table. He's got some chairs.
Yep.
He's got a trunk, not much else.
Right.
So during the interview, Perugia said that he was at work at the Garbier firm.
Okay.
All day. Alibi. Okay, sure. Alibi. Yeah.
I believe you 100%.
So the junior detective took that as fact, but he did do a small search of Perugia's apartment. He found nothing.
Okay.
Okay. So 2 weeks after the theft, the newspapers, who were hearing nothing from the police or Lapine wasn't saying anything about the investigation, they started to come up with their own plan.
Oh, geez.
They wanted to restore France's reputation and pride by seeing this to an end.
Okay.
So they created their own reward for information on the theft.
Oh, really?
50,000 francs, which is over £1 million today.
Holy crap.
Huge.
I mean, yeah,
that's huge.
What is it?
Huge.
Okay, just making sure that I heard that right.
Huge. Okay.
Okay, stop.
The results were immediate.
Well, yeah, because that's
I want
a significant...
huge amount of francs.
Jesus Christ. Let's move on from huge.
So a man comes forward, and he actually writes a letter. He doesn't like visually like come in.
Oh, so he wrote them a letter and sent it to them.
Yes, okay. And he says, it's actually not that hard to steal from the Louvre because I've done it.
Oh. Okay.
He says, I have stolen Iberian statues. And I had to look up Iberian because I have not heard that.
What is that?
But it's of Spain or Portugal heritage. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Iberian without the S. Siberian without the S.
And not as cold.
And this guy says, I have stolen these statues and I've actually sold them.
Oh, shit. Really?
Yeah. And he sold them to an up-and-coming painter.
Okay.
Can you guess who that painter was? Knowing that it was an Iberian statue from Spain and Portugal, can you guess who this painter was that purchased these stolen statues?
Picasso.
Pablo Picasso, baby.
Did you know he lived till like 1974?
No.
Something like that?
No.
Yeah.
That's not part of my research.
Well, why would it be?
Pablo Picasso purchased these stolen... Yes, Bradley. His hand is raised.
Do I get points?
Yes, go get yourself another beer. Hold, please.
Hold, please. And we're back. Thanks for waiting.
And what'd you get?
I got a summer shandy.
Very good.
A lot different from what we just had.
Oh, good go-to, though. But
it's a
isn't
classic.
that insane? Pablo Picasso all of a sudden just comes on the scene.
Yeah.
So the detectives went to Picasso's house, his home.
To see if he actually had these statues?
Well, to see if he potentially had the painting, the Mona Lisa.
Why would he think that, though?
Because he's already, purchased stolen goods. Oh. Known stolen goods.
So maybe this guy purchased the painting as well.
Yes.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
They found these Iberian statues in Picasso's home.
Did they take them back?
Yes. So Picasso actually used those statues as inspiration for one of his paintings.
Which painting?
It's called The Young Ladies of Avignon.
Huh.
And I'm going to show you what it looks like.
Okay.
And I will probably put this on social media, but I don't want it to be confused with like the, like
who we're really focusing on.
Who we're actually talking about.
Right.
But this is, if you can describe it for people, this is the young ladies of Avignon.
It looks like they're all wearing pink outfits and...
It's very like abstract. This is considered like one of the the earliest versions of what we would consider modern art.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
very angular.
Yeah, a lot of angles in it, a lot of like not curves, if you will, just more
very angular.
Yeah,
the faces,
there's
the noses.
5 different ladies in there. Is that what I'm counting?
And it's all very like pink and reds.
A lot of pink.
Yeah. Okay. So
I've never seen that painting before.
Yeah. So that was the young ladies of Avignon. So Picasso was arrested and held for several days, but they couldn't build a case around him for the Mona Lisa, so they released him.
Why was he arrested?
Because he had these stolen statues.
Okay, but he didn't steal them. He purchased them. He might not have known they were stolen.
It's fair, but they were also still trying to make a case for him. And it's not like today where they have to be like, no, you absolutely did it. Here's the proof, etc. We're going to hold you.
Right.
Instead, back then it was, we're going to hold you and then try to prove it.
So guilty before innocent?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Gotcha.
So they did end up releasing him. And that's the last we kind of hear of Picasso. But that's so ironic.
That's funny. Yeah. No, because of the time frame that you brought up, I'm like, well, it's got to be Picasso. Because I'm not saying I'm a Picasso historian by any stretch, but I knew he lived around that time. He was around that time kind of thing. So, but yeah, he lived to be like, I might be getting the year wrong, but he was around for a long time. It's like, it's weird to think about because of how iconic he is as a painter. That there's another small one. It's just like, wait, he didn't die until when?
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to Mona Lisa Smile.
So the public and the newspapers were kind of starting to realize that the world's greatest detective may not have been the greatest detective. It's like this one little mark on this guy's reputation.
Right.
And
so instead of being
this little blemish on his record, and now he's a pariah. Whatever.
So instead of being Sherlock Holmes, he's more like Sherlock Homie.
Yeah.
Well, ghetto.
Sure.
Sure.
So
wow.
The newspaper articles of the Mona Lisa disappearance, they start to dwindle in size and in frequency.
Okay.
Because it's just taking so long.
Yeah.
That
there's
other
been
things,
so much time in between when this happened. People are like, eh.
So a couple things actually happened during this time.
Okay.
To where the Mona Lisa is no longer front page news.
Right.
These other things are.
Okay.
The headlines during this time. An automobile was used for the first time as a getaway car after a bank robber.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And secondly, the sinking of the Titanic on April 15th, 1912.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So this Titanic knocked the Mona Lisa out of the news.
Pretty much.
A year later. That's wild.
At this time, 1912.
Yeah.
The disappearance of the Mona Lisa is now considered a cold case.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
I suppose.
So Lapine, he had a nice, long, respectable, rewarding career. He actually ended up retiring in March 1913, never having solved this case.
Way to go, Lapine.
Isn't that awful?
I mean...
He's like so respected and so well regarded, and this one...
kind of killed it.
This one last one he couldn't get.
Yeah, and it just kind of... made people's perception of him be a little different too, which is wild. So
28 months after the theft, in December of 1913, a Florence-based art dealer gets a letter in the mail.
Oh, correspondence.
The letter is written in Italian,
okay,
but it arrived from Paris. Okay, it says, "I have the Mona Lisa.
Oh,
and I want to sell it to you with a 25% discount as you're Italian, and I want this painting in Italy." Because Leonardo was Italian.
Right.
I want this painting in Italy. Huh. It was signed Leonard V.
Okay.
Okay. So the art dealer feels like this might just be the real deal, as the painting has been missing for so long. No one knows what's up with this. So he contacts the museum director of Uffizi, which is Italy's version of the Louvre.
Oh.
So it's another museum, Uffizi.
Okay.
Uffizi. Okay.
That's weird.
Yeah. So the director was like, I'll authenticate this painting once we all meet up.
So once I get it,
Yeah.
kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if it's the real painting, the art dealer agrees to give Leonard a finder's fee of what would have been £500,000 today.
Good Lord.
Ha ha ha.
So what do they mean a finder's fee?
Like Leonard wanted, hey, I found the painting. I want a reward for it.
So they're just discounting the fact that he could have been the one that stole it?
Oh, no. They're smarter than that.
Okay, good.
So on December 17th, the two Italians meet up with Leonard in his hotel room in Florence.
Okay.
Okay. And he is not at all what they thought.
No? How so?
He's unkempt.
Oh.
He's down on his luck. He's young, and he's very unintelligent.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So Leonard pulls out this trunk. He opens it. He tosses out shoes, paintbrushes, clothing, just random things. And they're all like, what the hell is this?
What the fuck?
But then he pulls out a false bottom.
Oh.
And underneath, he pulls out something wrapped in red velvet.
Sure.
It's the Mona Lisa.
That's fucking wild.
At least that's what it looks like.
Right.
Okay. So the museum director, he's not like, he's very like sophisticated, and it's like people have copied this work.
Of course.
Over and over again.
You talked about that in the beginning.
Exactly.
How people
So I have to prove this.
100%.
Essentially.
Yeah.
So the museum director flips it over to the back side and looks at the back of the painting. Why? Because on the back of this painting is where they would label everywhere that this painting has been.
Oh.
So there's markings, there's loose numbers, there's literally a history in writing on the back of this painting.
I didn't realize they did that there.
Yes, and so I watched this art restoration guy, Baumgartner's Restoration.
Okay.
He's from Chicago, and he literally puts a sticker on the back of every single painting he does.
Oh, really?
To signify like who cleaned it, how he cleaned it, repaired it, etc.
Well, that makes sense. It's just like
same thing.
A log of what happened.
Exactly.
Sure. Okay.
So it's a detailed history really of where this painting has been.
Right.
And the museum director has seen photos of the back of this painting.
Oh, really?
And he is like so close to confirming that this is actually the Mona Lisa, but he's like, he has to be sure. He can't quite say it yet.
You can't fuck this up.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So he's like, I need to match the varnish cracks in the paint.
Oh.
From years of exposure and drying and everything to archival photographs.
Okay.
It is essentially a painting's fingertips. Nope.
Print. This is like watching a car crash. Oh, what is it now?
A painting's fingerprints.
Oh my God.
Like the varnish crack. Fingertips.
Wow. That we got there. It was rough. I'm a little scarred for life now.
So
I feel a little dumber, but we got there.
Shut the fuck up. So the director needs to take this painting back to Uffizi.
Yeah. To
see the painting under the magnifying glass and compare it to the pictures that he has.
Right.
And Leonard lets them take it.
What are you fucking kidding me?
Without payment, just bye-bye bargaining chip. Just bye-bye. Go ahead, take it.
I don't
He Italians are like, they told Leonard, well, if the painting checks out, we'll go ahead and send the reward in the mail. Yeah.
Checks in the mail.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God.
What a fucking moron. It's like, I'm sorry. If you actually knew, even if you're that dumb, you don't leave that.
No.
Like, I'm coming with you then. Or no. Fuck off. Wow, what a moron.
Yeah. So.
What a dumb shit.
So, the archival photos match the painting. The Mona Lisa has been found.
And so this was 28 months after it went missing.
Yes.
Okay.
So, of course, instead of sending Leonard the finder's fee, they sent the Italian police.
You don't say. Wow.
Now, okay, so Leonard, you would think that, like, the painting leaves his possession. He made a mistake. He needs to get the fuck out of there. Does he?
No.
No.
Because he's like, well,
He's still at the hotel.
They're going to verify it, and then they're going to send me a check. What a dumb fuck.
The police show up. He's arrested. Naturally, of course, Leonard is Vincenzo Perugia.
There you go. Vincenzo.
Yes. He was a worker who no-showed during the initial investigation, if you were around for the beginning of the episode. Okay.
Yes. Right.
Oops.
So he was just using an alias to try and cover his ass.
At least he was smart in that regard, but...
Okay, and I was literally just going to say that. How do you come up with, like, you know what?
I'm going to make an alias.
I need to use an alias, but I'm a fucking idiot in the rest of my life. How do you not come up with, like... seriously? How... You okay there?
I shivered.
Yeah.
Habanero.
How are you that dumb? But yet you can come up with an alias?
Yeah, it's definitely different. But so the police are like, how did you do this?
Right.
How are you so dumb? You still managed to do this.
But yet you were able to pull this off.
Yeah. So
wow.
He gives the details. So Perugia arrives at the Louvre at 7 a.m. and climbs the grand staircase, not encountering anyone. The Louvre is closed. There's no one around. So he walks into the gallery where the Mona Lisa is hung. He looks around and he listens.
To see if he hears anybody?
No one is near.
Okay.
He easily pulls the painting off the wall.
Because he was familiar with it.
Yes, he was familiar. So nearby is an employee staircase.
Yeah, the servant hall or whatever you said. Whatever, yeah.
So he goes down several flights of stairs and he takes the painting out of the frame and the protective casing and he keeps it there.
Did he just like roll it up like a poster? I mean, how did he...
So no, it's on canvas.
Right.
So he's just tucking it under his arm.
That's so wild.
Yeah. So he goes down several more flights of stairs without the frame and he goes to that side door.
The one without the handle?
Yes. So it's locked. He doesn't have a key, but the doorknob is there. He has a screwdriver on his person and he removes the doorknob to try to get out.
Oh. But it didn't work because it was a separate...
He didn't get far enough until he heard the plumber coming down the stairs. So he had to act quickly, sit on the stairs, and act like he just got there.
Right.
So that's when the plumber's like, hey, there's not a doorknob here. What happened? And Perugia's like, I don't know. I just got here.
Yeah.
So the plumber unlocks the door, steps out, locks the door behind him, and Perugia's like, fuck.
Okay.
What does he do? He goes back the way he came down the grand staircase.
Well, I mean, what else is he going to do, I guess, though?
But nobody sees him. Wow. He literally leaves the museum the same way he came in. It literally took 20 minutes from start to finish.
And with a short little stint of, I got to sit here and play stupid.
Yes.
But how did... Okay, this guy's an idiot.
So, but why did he do it?
Yeah, because he wanted it back in Italy.
Yes.
Because he thought it was owed to Italy.
So Italians were the largest migrants in France.
Oh, they were?
They were the workers, the craftsmen, the painters, the lowest of the low.
Sure.
Okay. And Perugia wanted revenge. He was bullied. He was bullied. All the Italians, essentially, quote unquote, were bullied by the French.
Sure.
He was thinking, okay, why are you protecting these paintings, these treasures that you have claimed, and then go about ridiculing the same Italians that created them?
I can understand where he's coming from. Yeah. Sure.
But there is a theory that that's not the entire motive that Perugia had. Perugia might have thought that the Italian paintings were stolen by the French.
Oh.
So... But regardless, Leonardo da Vinci gave it to King Louis as a gift in France, which is why it was hung in the Louvre.
Well, no, I mean, it makes sense because it's not like just because it was painted in Italy or the person who is Italian, or as Kate likes to say, Italian. Although you did say Italian before.
I know, I tried really hard. I paid attention.
Anyways, even just because they're Italian doesn't mean like Italy owns it. The painter owns it, and he can do whatever the fuck he wants with it.
Yeah. So
if Leonardo da Vinci wants to give it to King Louis or whoever, for that fucking matter, fuck off, dude.
Yeah. So, but he didn't know that.
Well,
he thought it was stolen, potentially.
Potentially stolen. But either way, I get where his
potential motive.
His potential motive, even though it's not very well thought out.
Yeah.
I guess is what we'll say.
Yeah. Okay. So Perugia was sentenced in an Italian court for 12 months.
He only got 12 months?
Oh, but wait.
Okay.
He only served 7.
Because why?
Because he was labeled as a patriot in Italy because of his motives. Because he was trying to bring
something back.
Yes. He was trying to build up the reputation of Italy and bringing this fantastic piece of artwork back because he thought that it was stolen by the French.
And he got 5 months reduced off his sentence.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably, obviously, it's well different. I mean, that's over 100 years ago when this happened. But like to think that he only got 12 months for stealing the Mona Lisa.
But it wasn't the Mona Lisa at the time.
Let me finish.
The.
Yeah. Let me finish. Knowing that it's obviously a lot different now, but just take any popular. Every time you take a sip now, it's just funny.
It's the back end.
Yeah, I know. But just take anything popular. Mona Lisa, obviously, whatever, anything popular.
Taylor Swift album, whatever.
Oh my God. You at least get 5 years for a Taylor Swift album. I mean, fuck. Jesus Christ. Anywho, but no, it's just funny that like to think about you like he only got 12 months and only served 7. That's just crazy. But anyways.
Okay, so by stealing the Mona Lisa, Perugia unintentionally, obviously, created a worldwide icon.
Yeah, because like you said, nobody fucking knew about it. I do have a question. What painting did the Washington Post actually put out there?
I actually don't know, but it was actually very similar in style of appeal. It was a woman, kind of in the same kind of positioning and everything. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, so Perugia's theft also catapulted art theft in general.
Oh.
People are willing to buy these paintings for a premium price.
Right.
Each year, and still to this day, each year, art theft is one of the highest grossing criminal trades worldwide, only third to drugs and arms trades.
Really? It's still that high, even to this day.
Isn't that nuts?
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yes.
It just doesn't seem like, it seemed like, how do I even word it? More romanticized in my brain from like years ago, basically.
Yeah. Wow. Isn't that crazy?
No, I would have never guessed it's that high.
Okay, so today, the Mona Lisa is no longer insured.
Because it can't be?
It used to be.
Yeah.
But now no insurance company could possibly pay the high price for a replacement or repair because the painting is now considered irreplaceable and priceless.
Correct.
So no monetary value is ever going to be assigned to this painting.
Do you know what the last monetary value ever assigned to it was?
I did write it down at one point and ended up deleting it, but it was several million. That was back in the 60s. It was several million.
So even,
inflation.
Inflation,
So now it's just too much. So they're like, no, this is just priceless.
Well, you think about it, it's 500 years old, over 500 years old.
Yeah.
Nothing like that is, I'm sure there's really good painters today, but like for some, like nothing like that's ever going to be created again.
No.
Just the masterpiece that it is.
Yeah.
With Da Vinci was a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Everything he did was amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can understand why you can't put a price on it.
So in the Louvre, where the Mona Lisa has been ever since its deframing, except for a few world tours.
Right. It did.
It did tour a couple places.
Did I just see a photograph not that long ago where it was in the States and it was JFK looking at it?
And Jackie, Yep. So it has been in the Louvre ever since, except for like some of those world tours, and it's been preserved by it has its own climate controlled room.
Isn't that crazy?
and a pane of bulletproof glass in front of it to ensure its protection.
Yep.
It's constantly surrounded by security guards.
Well, cameras,
and
I'm sure.
high quality surveillance systems.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But that is the story of Vincenzo Peruggia and the Mona Lisa heist.
I feel like we need to watch the Thomas Crown Affair now.
Ooh.
I love that movie. I've never seen the original. Have you?
I don't think I have.
I don't either. And
Pierce Brosnan, Rene Rousseau,
Yeah.
and Ed Harris?
No.
Oh, Dennis Leary.
Yes.
Dennis Leary.
Yes.
That has a great soundtrack.
Yeah, I like the music in it. Yeah. No,
Oh, Cinnamon, where do you run to? Oh, Cinnamon. Damn it, now I need to watch that.
right? Doesn't that make you want to watch that movie, though?
Yes.
I really enjoy that movie. And, like, so a good friend of Corey's, my brother, and I was friends with him, too. His name was Jimmy Branston. Well, I'm saying his last name wrong. God damn it. He passed away. He was pretty young. He had it was cancer or something. I don't remember what the fuck it was. Really sad because he was a great guy, but he did photography and stuff. Mm-hmm. But he was very good artistically as well. So back in the day, because of that movie, I wanted to name an album Bowler Hats and what was it?
Isn't there limes or something in it?
I don't remember.
It's a painting, a famous painting that is portrayed in the movie.
Yeah, correct. And that's where
Thomas
I got
Crown.
that from.
Yeah.
It's something like bowler hats and like rocket. I don't know. I have the picture somewhere. I have to pick it up. But I had him create it, but it was
Based on that.
influenced off of that movie with that painting in it because obviously the painting's in the movie or whatever. But yeah, I love that movie. Anyways,
It's good. Yeah.
So
a lot of my research came from an awesome YouTube channel. It is called Stealing the Mona Lisa, Art Theft of the Century. And they interview the author of a book that he wrote about the stealing of the Mona Lisa. So
very cool.
Yeah. So what do you think?
So I think it's cool because, like, again, I knew that it was stolen once. Mm-hmm. For some reason in my head, I always thought it was gone longer than what it actually was. And I didn't know any details about it, basically. It was quite interesting to learn a bit more. I think it's funny how this guy was such a fucking idiot in terms of like saying, hey, I got it. Let's sell this or whatever.
After 2 years.
After, 28 months. So, like, do you think within that time frame he just sat on it and then this is the time I need to sell it?
Yeah, I think he waited until like
it died down.
It died down. Thing? Yeah, and I think he got like scared when they came to his apartment.
Oh, I would imagine so.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to sit on this for a bit.
For some reason in my brain, and I'm not saying I have no basis for why I would even think this way. I always thought it was like hidden in an attic or something. Mm. I don't know why I thought that or why that would
It might be another famous painting that's been hidden.
Could be, yeah. I might be mixing it up. But, like, do you think when they showed up at his apartment that this was hidden in that false bottom at 100%. That time, too? Yeah.
100%.
It's a one-room, small, little fucking piece of shit apartment. Mm-hmm. Didn't have, like, extra rooms and storage
they
or whatever.
They looked under the bed.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing he probably had that at that time already, and it was in the apartment when that junior detective or whatever the fuck you call him went to go talk to him.
Yeah.
So that's just because, like, you think about it, it's like I could have been 5 feet away from that painting, never fucking noticed.
He was
probably, yeah. So
I actually got this idea for the art theft. From a book that you let me borrow.
Oh, that's my book, yeah. Yeah,
so this is called The Book of Amazing History, and I actually don't even know who it's by. It doesn't even say on the front cover. It's Publications International Limited. It honestly doesn't even have a no author.
That's all right.
But it's a ton of different
Random stuff.
Historical stories.
Yeah.
And this particular one was under like the title of famous art heists of the world. And this was one of them.
Cool. I'm glad we got a story to that because I got that from my mother-in-law. And
for Christmas. Yeah. So,
and I thought that was super cool. So I let you borrow it so you can kind of see if we get any topics. So
that's what
awesome.
I got it from.
I'm so happy that you did. That's great.
Me too.
Fantastic.
It was a good book. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I find it funny. It's like, what do you call him? What was his alias?
Leonard V.
It's like Vincenzo. You fucking idiot.
Or Leonardo da Vinci. Like we don't know like what he was trying to go for.
I feel like he took Leonardo and just changed it to Leonard and then V for Vincenzo.
Perhaps we don't.
I mean, who knows? But
yeah,
what a fucking idiot! Like,
he wasn't very smart.
But he was patriotic and passionate.
Smart enough to get away with it for 2 years.
Yeah, he really likes Italy. So
stop it.
Sorry,
you were not the first person to make fun of my
Italian.
Italian. Yeah.
Well, it's just funny because like you say Italy.
When I say Italian. I know. Stop it. I know. Okay, so.
Anyways. Yes.
Last thoughts on Cool City Brewing Company, the Berry Habanero. What do you think?
I really liked it. It's not something I would want to have all the time.
It's so unique. I really liked it.
But I really liked that we got a crowler and
I finished like my first beverage
on the podcast.
I actually finished it.
That's impressive.
I guess you were talking a lot, huh?
I finished 2.
Oh, shut up.
and actually, you don't even have a pint glass. I do. I did. Your glass is smaller, so there was extra in the can because it's a 32-ounce can. So I had 16 ounces. You have whatever that is. I suppose. All right, buffoons. That's it for today's episode.
Buckle up because we've got another historical adventure waiting for you next time. Feeling hungry for more buffoonery? Or maybe you have a burning question or a wild historical theory for us to explore?
Hit us up on social media. We're History Buffoons Podcast on YouTube, X, Instagram, and Facebook. You can also email us at historybuffoonspodcast@gmail.com. We are Bradley and Kate. Music by Corey Akers.
Follow us wherever you get your podcasts and turn those notifications on to stay in the loop.
Until next time, stay curious and don't forget to rate and review us.
Remember, the buffoonery never stops.